Well, hello, y'all. This time I'm going to wire a receptacle. I just want to make it clear that I am not a licensed electrician at all. This is basically this is my first time of wiring one, but this is how I was told how to do it. So this is the way I'm going to do it. And before you do anything, make sure you're up to code on everything you do. And if you need a licensed electrician is required, then you go get one. And also, before you start any kind of wiring or repair on wiring or anything, always make sure that your main breaker is turned off at your breaker box and that there's no power to what you're working on, because you don't want to get shocked or electrocuted or anything like that. Now, what I'm doing here, I have no power coming to this building yet at all. To these, what I'm working on, there is no power to it, so I didn't have to turn anything off, but it is definitely no power to it. So y'all always be careful and always make sure you do everything proper and correctly.
Got a wire right here.
Thanks for watching.
And what you want to do, I'm going to pull enough through here. You want to trim this outside layer off. You can cut around it with your knife. Just be careful, don't cut into the wires inside. And get it cut through there. And cut it down the middle there. And you can take that yellow covering right off of it, just like so. Just take it off, and there you got your three wires. You got a white wire. This is your neutral. And then you got your ground wire, which is this copper wire. And then you got your black wire here, that's your hot. And of course, it's not hot now because I don't have it hooked into anything. Don't have it hooked to the house, don't have it hooked to anything. So we don't have to worry about getting fried by it. Anyway, got it right there. And then whenever I get ready to cut these wires off to the right length, what I'll do, I'll put my fist against that right there, put my thumb right here, and then I'll clip it off, and that gives me enough wire to wire it up. Okay, so here's the receptacle right here. And you got this green screw here. This is your ground. So your ground goes on it, and then on each side you got the gold ones on this side. That's where your hot goes. Hot goes to gold, and your neutral goes to the silver screws here on this side. And so in other words, your darker screw, the gold, will be your darker wire. Your dark to dark, light to light, and ground to green. And that's how you do it. Now here's you got this 12 gauge wire. You just grab that right there and cut it and pull that right off. So now you got the bare wire right here. All right. Now then, this hole right here in it, you can stick the wire through that hole like that, and that's how you make your hook, or make your hook. All right. Now the hook will go around these screws, and you always want to put it where when you start tightening that screw, it's going to go in a clockwise fashion. That way it will tighten up the hoop. If you put it the other way, it wants to kind of undo it. So that's how you want to have always where you're going in the direction the screw is going to tighten there. So whenever I put this hot wire on, I'm going to put it on the bottom one first, coming in, put it on that bottom one, just like that. And then we'll tighten it down. And see how I got it going the same direction the screw is turning, and that draws that wire in tight. You want to get that good and tight there, or you don't have no way for it to short out. And there you got your wire there. And I don't know if you can see this or not. I can zoom in on it later, but it's your rubber here is not behind the screw, and you want to make sure of that. All right. And you want to put this over here. You got a little slot going in here. Make sure you get that wire over behind there. And then we want to do the same thing with the white wire. You want to come back here a little ways and clip it off. You want to cut that, get that excess off of there. That rubber, that white part, all right. And then make my hook. Now this will go over to your your silver screws. And like I said, you want to look to the bottom on that side, so you want to go to the bottom on this side as well. Make sure you put it where it's going with what direction the screw will be turning. Put that around behind that screw. Get it behind your screw right there. Make sure it's in that slot there. And you just tighten it down. Get it good and tight right there like that. And you make sure this metal here on your wire is not out past the plastic here, where it won't be touching anything. It can't. All right, and then you take this ground wire. Now here, what we want to do here, since we're going to go on to that other side over there, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Okay, this right here is a piece of copper ground wire that I cut off of a piece of the wiring over there. This, let me turn y'all around a little bit here, kind of crooked on me. But anyway, what we do here, you want this ground to go on here, right? Okay, but we're going to take the ground from here on to the next one. So what you want to do, you want to make a pigtail, or what I'm going to use, this is called a Wago. This is called a Wago connector, and they're really easy to use. You just flip these little things up right here. All right, and what we'll do, we'll stick this ground wire coming into one of these and pop it down right there. That's on there. That's on there. All right. Then we want to put this ground wire, this piece that I got in there on that one. All right, so now it's in there. And what we'll do, we'll connect it to the ground here. And then when we get ready to go to the next, run the wiring from here up to the light switch and on down to the others, we'll take the ground wire from it and we'll hook it right into this one, and that's all connected. It'll all be connected like it should be. So now we'll take our wiring pliers here, and we'll make us a hook to go around that screw. And this is your ground screw. So make you a hook to go around it. And you want it to go around the screw just like the others. Go around it just like that. Where when you tighten it down, it draws it in tight. You want to get it in behind there good. All right. And you always want to make sure you get everything good and tight. Not too tight, but good and tight. We got our ground wire on there, and we got our neutral wire on the silver screws, and then we got the hot on the gold screws. And we got our Wago connector on there. All right, now then, we'll just hook our next wire onto here. On this here, you want to pull this wire up a little bit to get this worked in there. To get this right back, you want to make sure that you take this wire here, and you want to push that ground wire. You want to push that ground wire back to the back once you get the other one hooked in, and push that in there, just like so. And it mounts. Just like so, and like so. And once you get these started in there, before you get it good and tight, you want to make sure you get this receptacle straight. Get it straight up and down where it looks good when you put your cover on. But anyway, you just tighten these down. And you get it all the way in there, but I don't want to put it all the way in because I'm going to run my other wire here. I'm going to start and I'm going to hook into this same thing, run it out here and on around to the next ones. All right, y'all. That's how you wire up a receptacle right there.